Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Three Pars and a Birdie podcast, episode 103, I believe.
Yeah, 102, 103, 104.
It's 103.
Something like that. A lot.
We are going to cover basically a little bit of everything today on this podcast. We have the President's Cup that just finished up last weekend.
Crazy.
So we want to talk about that. We just went to Fred again, which is an amazing house DJ, plays awesome music.
Awesome.
I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit. We went to New York about 2 weeks ago, I'd say, 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks. No.
For one of our friends' wedding, and while we were there, we actually got in 2 rounds of golf. So, you know, we're going to cover that and then actually tell you guys a little bit about the wedding. So that'll be like a honorary Joe and Janie segment because that's our friends who got married. So,
and before we end, we're gonna add a little bit about the Detroit Tigers.
Tigers. I was going to say that
to the ALDS. So we'll cover that at the end.
One more thing. It's Sober October.
Yeah.
Cody started it officially. I'm going to be a little late, but
yeah, Sober October. It's I'll make it quick. It's been fun. It's year 4. We don't have to dive into it deep. It's brutal. I'm having I'm sweating a lot. I get cold chills. I looked it up. It said it's only supposed to last from about 2 to 6 days once you stop smoking after a while. So I have about 3 more days.
Man. But dude, you said you don't like the sweats. You'd rather have like night terrors and
no appetite.
And no appetite.
Easily. Out of the 3 things that are most likely to happen,
I don't know,
from going through withdrawals, because at least the night terrors is while I'm sleeping. Okay, that one's cool. And then the not eating thing, it's kind of shitty, especially because I love food. But like, I'll take that over, dude. I'm sweating bullets right now, like for real.
Well, look what you got on, my guy.
Even if I take
some layers,
you know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take this hoodie off, and then I'm gonna get chilly, because all that sweat that's sitting on me is gonna get cold. Yeah,
you'll be a little cold.
I've been doing this all day, bro. I've been hoodie on, hoodie off, hoodie on. It's been fucking rough. So, happy Sober October, guys.
Yeah, it's I'll be starting basically next Monday because I'm going up north this weekend to do some hunting. So I know I'm gonna be, I'll have a couple beers for sure. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'll have a few beers and then I'll probably smoke a little ganja. So
nice, good.
After that, I'll
jump in,
buckle down, and I'll be probably sweating bullets like fucking.
Bro, it's rough life.
Guy's looking like he just came out of a pool.
I'm telling you, it's bad. Waking up every morning in a pool of sweat. I mean, I have to change my shirt before I go to the gym in the morning. Isn't that crazy?
Not good.
I have to change my shirt just to get sweaty again because I'm waking up that sweaty. It's that bad. For real, it's that bad. Yeah, that's crazy. Sucks. Yeah, it's insane.
The appetite part I would hate, though, too. Not having an appetite.
That part sucks, for sure.
I think I would rather have the sweats over the...
Don't say that out loud, bro. Next week.
I will. Listen, man, I'm a sweater at night in bed.
Okay.
I will sweat through my sheets, man. All so easy. I slept just on top under a little blanket last night because I was so hot. Had a fan on high, another ceiling fan on high.
That's the shitty part is, though, because I don't go to bed hot. Like, you're going to bed hot. So you're like, I need to plan for being hot. I'm going to bed comfortable under my, I'm under my sheets. Everything's good. I'm not hot. I'm like, oh, this is good. I feel comfortable. I'm not cold. I'm not hot. I'm just comfy. But I wake up in a fucking sauna, bro.
3 in the morning, and you got to change the pillows. And
4 in the morning for sure. I'm waking up 3 in the morning, talking myself back to sleep. Wake up at 6, and I'm not kidding you. I have to change my clothes just to go to the gym. I got fans, yeah. But the fan, it's not doing shit, bro. My body's just like, what the fuck's happening? Where's the marijuana, Cody?
Yeah. Yeah, because after fucking smoking every day,
330
times a day, your body's kind of,
it's
kind of wants
baseline.
It.
Yeah, it's baseline.
And then you were saying, there's a couple times, like especially after you eat or whatever, or maybe right before you go to bed, that you you kind of crave it.
Of course.
And that's almost like, because it's probably a routine that you're into.
It's just like anything
You get
else.
done eating, you want to, hit your wax pen or whatever, and then before you go to bed, you pack a bowl or whatever it is, and smoke a bowl while you're watching a little bit of a podcast.
Yeah.
And now that you can't do that, it's like, what the fuck are you gonna fill that with?
Difficult.
So it's like, bro, I heard something like, maybe if you can read a book even or something just to fill the time. Well,
one thing that I've always done every Sober October is I drink tea at night, like during Sober October.
Okay.
Because it gives me something to do at night. I'm slowly drinking it. It takes 45 minutes, an hour. It's hot as fuck. So that is a wind me down thing as opposed to taking an edible, smoking a bowl like I would normally do. So that is something that I do almost every night during Sober October, just to kind of keep my mind busy.
Right.
Yeah, but it
sucks, man, for sure.
It does.
So let's jump into the President's Cup, because we seen an ass whooping there from the United States, but there was that day, man, after that day 2,
crazy.
The boys came back.
Crazy.
the boys across
first
the
time
pond
ever
came back,
ever.
And they made it close for that day. But after that, it was like, all right, USA, let's get the fucking wheels back together, and then we'll be all right.
You know what's crazy though? I saw a stat. Holes won 117 for the United States,
For
116 for the international. So it was actually closer than the score showed in terms of like take the score away. And if you went holes won, I mean, it's a nail biter. I mean, it went down to 1 hole. So it actually ended up playing out close. But if you guys watched, the internationals would win so many holes to start, and then the USA would just come back and dominate. You know, that's how it pretty much happened in almost every contest, especially with Patrick Cantley. I'm sure you guys saw highlights if you watched that. And then they would end up winning the last holes, and then they'd close it out early. So international might win 3 holes to start. Team USA comes back, wins 5 holes, but now they're up 2 with 3 holes left. Well, now they just won.
Yeah.
And that's how you win, by like 1 hole every time.
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of wondering how
how did that happen?
So that's difference.
Yeah, so that's what would happen. And you brought it up. Friday was a demolishing. Like, they beat us way worse than we beat them the day before.
Yeah.
Like they went hard, bro.
Yeah, the international stepped it up on Friday. Day. You had Tom Kidd really showing up. Ben on. I mean,
Matsuyama and Sungjae beat Scheffler and Henley 7-6. They beat the number 1 player in the world 7-6, bro. That's insane.
Yeah, Matsuyama was playing
lights out. Yeah, it was fun to watch. I've never been able to watch the President's Cup or Ryder Cup. Every year I'm at Lost Lands.
That's right.
This is the first one I've ever watched.
That's right.
I've never been able to watch them. I'm always at a music festival in Ohio, getting a little twisted. And it was so much fun. I didn't even know how it really works. I mean,
did you
watch highlights, bro?
Pretty cool, huh?
I was glued to the TV, bro. You thought I was getting paid.
Didn't have to catch the highlights on your phone.
Dude, I watched
in between like
hours of it. That Saturday, Michigan had a football game. You went to the game, and it was raining all day. Perfect day to just take some acid and sit around the house. And Chad, my roommate, and I, we just watched golf, dude, for 8 hours straight. I mean, it was because there's 2 rounds on Saturday. So the way the format goes is Thursday is best ball. Friday is alternate shot. Saturday is both. Best ball in the morning, alternate shot in the afternoon. So they're teeing off at 8 a.m. Second round supposed to start at 1. It got delayed, pushed back because of frost. Didn't start till about 3. Still got it in somehow.
Somehow,
bro. Somehow. I was shocked. I didn't think they would. And the last day is individual match play. And it was great, man. I loved it. And I was rooting so hard for just a close competition. And it kind of delivered. I mean, obviously it could be a nail biter a little bit more. But there was a time on Sunday when, if you're looking at the board, the whole right side was lit up for the international team. And we were tied.
Yeah.
We were either tied or we were losing. And I was like, all right, cool. This is makes it a little more interesting. You know, as time went off, the USA, ended up kicking ass. But it was fun. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. And the back and forth, between
all of them,
international and the U.S. I mean, you have Tom Kim really getting in Scheffler's face. You got Wyndham Clark even kind of commenting on it about the night boys on the last hole after Patrick Cantlay sank that amazing birdie putt. And it was just like
awesome putt.
You also had Mike Weir going after Cooch a little bit. Cooch kind of going at him, or not Cooch, Kisner rather. Yeah. Those two kind of battling it out and talking shit to each other a little bit, giving each other jabs. So like the buildup is kind of there, right? They still they have all the drama, they have all the theatrics, all that shit. It's all going on. So I'd like people say President's Cup isn't as good as the Ryder Cup. Yeah, that's probably true, but I would say
it's fucking awesome.
Can't get rid of the President's Cup because it brings a great element to golf, and it brings so much more eyes on the sport when you have an event like that, and especially when you have the people talking back like that, when you have players getting in each other's faces and really getting riled up when they make a long birdie putt or if they hit a bad shot, you know, and you see them get pissed off. I love seeing the raw emotions out of the players like that. You want to see that in golf.
You see that the most in those team events. And like you said, they can't get rid of the President's Cup. No. I don't care that the U.S. has won 13 out of 15 or whatever it is. You have to have it for one reason only, and that is because those international people deserve a competition. Exactly. Just because you weren't born in Europe doesn't mean you don't deserve to be on a team event. Because you're born in South Africa or Australia or South Korea or wherever. You deserve to be in an event. And I'm so happy that they created the President's Cup in like 93, I think is when they started.
I think it was 93.
Yeah. And
somewhere around there. If it ain't 93, you're like...
It's like right around there.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, even though the international team's only won, I think, twice, Mike Weir was on one of those teams, actually. It was so much fun to watch. But the thing that was shocking to me was that, you know, Friday during the alternate shot, Mike Weir had great teams. But for some odd reason, he decided to play that same set of people Saturday morning and Saturday evening. And I've only played 36 holes in a day, maybe twice, 3 times? Like not very often, I promise. But every time it is alcohol infused. You know what I mean? That's what keeps me going. And, you know, we're having a good time. We're like, hey, let's play 18 more. These guys are sober, playing difficult, draining golf. I mean, you could see the bags on Xander's eyes. I'm not kidding you. Like, he looked like he needed some sleep because it's just so intense and so draining. So to have those guys go out and, you know, you only put Minwoo Lee out once, you only put Ben An out twice, and I think he went 2-0. I think Ben An won both his matches. It's kind of shocking that Mike Weir decided to play the same people in the morning and in the afternoon on Saturday. It just logically,
top dogs.
And I get it. You're top dogs.
You know, we had a prior conversation, Cody and I, the other day about this, and we kind of talked about it.
It's your top dogs, but we'll get to it at the end. But the Tigers are doing great. Why?
Yeah,
because they're playing everybody on their roster,
and
everybody,
and the way that they're mixing up their closing pitchers and starting pitchers,
they're starting middle relievers.
It's
starters.
It's different. You don't see it for sure. Not a lot.
No.
You don't see it a lot. You do see it, but not.
And that's what I mean. Like, those people earn the right to be on the team, and in my opinion, you should have to play a minimum of 2 events because there's 4. The fact that you make the team and you only let Minwoo Lee play once or whatever, or 2 out of the 5 events, I guess he did meet the criteria in that instance. But it was upsetting because, one, he's an exciting player, right? I mean, you got the let him cook part. So even if he doesn't play well,
woozy,
you're gonna have the momentum. He's a Tom Kim. He's that guy. So trade him in for someone. Trade him in for a Christian Bezadenhout, you know, who you played 4 times or whatever. Like, bro. Even if he's playing the same or a little bit better, the energy from Minwoo Lee is, you know, when you have a wonderful team in any aspect, it's not because everyone's perfect at their job. It's because you have this mesh. You might have the guy who's the morale guy, and then you got the guy who kicks ass, and then the guy who keeps everybody under wraps.
Yeah.
But when you only put out your players and not really the emotional guys, it just seems like you're really tying your team down to only how you're playing. No emotion. Just shots. Are you making a shot? Nope. Okay, well, that doesn't matter. Minwoo Lee, Tom Kim, Siwoo Kim, even when they missed ones, the next hole, they're like, bro, we got to get the next one. We got to, you know, and they're hyping up the crowd. They weren't down on themselves like Bezadenhout or all those other guys who like, oh, I missed the putt. Okay, well, or Taylor Pendra. Okay, go to the next hole, all sad. No. You got a Minwoo Lee on your team, you know, that you're playing. That might not happen. Might not. I'm not saying it will. But it's just one of those things where it's like, they made the team, man. You put them on the team, you got to play them. This isn't basketball. You don't just play your starting 5 and everyone on the bench sits. That's how basketball works. This is golf. Play them all, man. They're great golfers.
They are.
All of them. There's not one bad golfer.
But it could come up.
What am I missing?
Now we're talking like. Now, the thing with the Tigers, though, Tigers have the whole team is filled with great players. You can switch them out any way you want, and it doesn't matter how you're going to do it because they're probably going to get the job done. Now, when you have, you know, the international team, yeah, they're all great golfers, but I think some of them do better under pressure than,
of course,
do better under pressure. And I think Minwoo Lee had, he had a bad day the first day.
He did.
And when you're trying to win a tournament, or when you're trying to win the President's Cup, you want to have your best players out there at all times.
Of course.
Tigers are able to switch it up and have their best players out at all times because they're such a stacked team, especially right now.
Yeah.
So their worst player is still phenomenal.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's, it's still going to be.
Yeah. Shit, the Tigers might win it, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
And then Minwoo Lee, like, if you play a bad day and you see that, you're like, all right, do I want to give him another shot here? And then if he does kind of do it again, if he does shit the bed again, then you definitely, like, I don't know if he can handle this pressure. And the morale build up, when you have somebody who can be that locker room guy, so to speak, it only goes so far too. Because
it does.
You're
Tom Kim
you're
and
not
Siwoo
playing good golf, and you're just building up your teammate,
right?
And all the pressure's on your teammate at that point. Right. I mean, like, that's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I mean? And then I think Mike Weir actually did what he's supposed to do, and that for him to put out his best guys 2 rounds like that
in a row,
back to back.
That's rough, man.
I think you just have to do it.
And you did it with a 44-year-old Adam Scott, bro.
Mm-hmm.
44.
That's
not young. That's not young, bro. That's what I mean.
He can't play in these anymore.
Shit like that. And he did pretty good.
He did.
He had that fucking 5-iron on that par 5.
He's not as consistent as all those other golfers, though. And you can tell that when he gets to some of the back nine on some of these courses, that it eats him up. The fatigue, the course, he's battling everything. Everything is a lot more difficult at that age. Let's put it that way. Of course.
And everything was against him. I mean, if you look at the standings, and they had brought it up a couple times, come Sunday, and I think this might have been like the 3rd time ever, every matchup, the USA player was official world golf rankings higher than their matchup.
Mm-hmm.
All 12. All the way down the board. So technically, you should be winning all those matchups for the most part.
Yeah.
But it's, it was a great President's Cup. I'm a little shocked that they went back to back. I don't know if that even happens often. I mean, I guess I could go back and look, but I would assume that it doesn't happen often, that you play the exact same 8 players. Not one switch. Not one.
It happens. They do that.
Yeah,
they do that for sure.
Like the USA switched in Sahith Theegala and then 2 other guys, Max Homa and Brian Harman, and took out 3.
Sahith, man, he is having it rough out there.
Yeah, he was.
And I will tell you what, Max Homa was looking shaky too.
Dude, the worst was Brian Harman.
He could not make a putt. Brian Harman couldn't hit a golf shot.
He was the worst player of all 24 players, they said, statistically, in drives, approach, putting. All 3.
You got to get him off the team.
He should have been the one not playing.
Get him off the team.
Yeah.
He didn't need to be on it.
Get him off the team, bro. He didn't deserve it, right?
No.
What's Brian Harman done?
Yeah, he did good for our Ryder Cup team.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
but this is different. He was on the Ryder Cup.
We talked about this with the Ryder Cup and Keegan. It's not about how you did. It's about how you're doing right now.
Right, and I also think that was in the past. He showed himself. He did a great job, but you know what? There's other. He was riding
that high from the Open win. In my opinion, I don't think. Don't get me wrong. Brian Harman's a good golfer. I'm not. He made the tour. He's a great golfer, but dude, I don't think
there's plenty of other Wolves that they could have replaced him.
JT, Justin Thomas, and I don't even think he had a great year, but I would say he's better. You could have picked up Nick Dunlap, bro. He had 3 wins on the season.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
Come on, bro. He's a young stud. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? So when it comes to picks, when it comes to starting, it's always a fun topic of discussion. We did the same thing with Keegan last year and JT, and we'll probably do the same thing next year with the Ryder Cup. It's always fun to see who's in, who's out. Mike Weir did the proper thing, in my opinion. He chose the top 12 players. But I know you don't have to, but that's how he went. And I was cool with that for the international team. I'm like, dude, I get it.
Oh, yeah.
It can be, especially being Canadian, it's in Canada. Your ass can be a little extra biased. You know what I mean? You have that pass to be biased, and he wasn't. And that was great. He picked the 12 best. It encapsulated 5 Canadians, which was great. But he didn't go like, all right, well, let me remove like Sung Jae and let me grab another Canadian. Adam Hadwin now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that part was cool. Very mad respect to him. It was Jim Furyk was the other.
Jim Furyk.
Yeah, it was the other. He was a manager or a coach. What do they call it?
Yeah, like
I don't even know what they call it. Is it a like a captain, right? Team captain.
He's the captain, but so Kiz was co-captain.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever he was, whatever position, captain.
He was
manager.
Captain. No, he's
okay.
Captain.
He did great. I didn't hear from him much, but he did pretty good. His picks were fine. The matchups were fine. I like the ballsy move of starting with on Sunday, dude. Put the big dogs out, bro. He put Scotty first. He put Xander second. He put Patrick Cantley third. Finished it off with like, all right, fuck around and find out. I got Colin Morikawa in the back. So, you got Colin playing last. He was fine. He played it perfect, honestly. And I don't think he was sweating at all, like the whole time.
No.
I think he was chilling, bro. Because it was an easy matchup. And
it was cool, though, when you had Tom Kim playing Scotty on that last day. And I tell you what, they were that one, was it the third day or last day when they were going head to head?
Third day.
Was it the third day? The second round?
Yeah, second round.
Right.
Yep.
And so watching them go back and forth, hitting shots. You'd see Scotty hit one decent shot. And then Tom Kim just fucking throws it inside Scotty and buries the putt, puts the pressure on him. It's like, bro, he was eating up Scotty that day.
The shots that they hit in that tournament. I mean, the Scotty bunker shot that he holed.
That was impressive.
Awesome. Max Homa on the last day, hold his eagle on hole 1.
Yeah, and that was fucking
ridiculous. Siwoo
hole
Kim,
1.
Of all the shots, my favorite is Siwoo Kim's. Because it goes along with the celebration, of course. But just being, we've seen Spieth do the same thing on the side of a hill. Shoot it up in the air, but Spieth didn't make his. He just put it close.
So it wasn't in the air.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
Up a hill.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. But getting it up the hill, making it. I mean, that was so cool. That was so much fun to watch. Hitting the Steph Curry, even though they lost, which is neither here nor there.
Steph Curry didn't like it.
Yeah. He said congrats Siwoo, but you can't do that unless you win or something like that. So he obviously patted him on the back. Thanked him for being a fan, but also was like Team USA. So Steph did the right thing. I think he, handled it as best as possible. But the coverage was great. I think we had Smiley on it and a couple other guys.
I love Smiley.
Coverage was awesome. You were able to watch pretty much all day, every day the events. So it was great. USA ended up winning 18-11 or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So they kicked ass, especially when you look at the stats at the very end. But it was a lot closer than the score says.
Yeah, it was.
The international team held their own, especially for literally being like underdogs. Like this wasn't. I mean, what you got Matsuyama, you got Sungjae, you got. That's about it. You know what I mean? And then you got Xander, Scotty, Cantley. I mean, you got dogs, bro. Dogs. So, and the list just continues to go down. And I don't think the international team was that. I don't think those guys were stepping on the tee box against the international team and getting nervous. But I think the opposite was happening for the international team.
Yeah.
I think they were getting.
Think about how much pressure that is for them, though,
of
too.
Course.
Not having a win in
a long time.
You have that on your back already going into
and
this.
Then you go down 5-0 the first day.
You know what that's like when we're, having lost a Ryder Cup and go over, to their home, and then you have that on your back, and it's like, or even coming back home after a loss over there, and it's like, all right, well, now I have to. We have to put something, we have to do something good.
And now we got New York next year,
and
we got to figure out how to win there because they kicked our ass over in Rome.
Yeah,
they kicked our ass. So,
but I think that's probably about President's Cup coverage.
Yeah, I mean, it was just absolutely wonderful to watch. I can't wait for for Ryder Cup. I really hope I can watch it. And the next President's Cup. I mean, I think most of those guys on the President's Cup teams on both sides will probably still be on the same teams.
Yeah.
Minus a couple that we've talked about, Adam Scott and a couple older guys. Jason Day might not be there anymore.
Jason Day, yeah. I forgot about him.
So shout out to all those guys who. Yeah, no problem. Shout out to all those guys who killed it. I mean, everybody who played had a good shot. I know we were talking shit about some of them, but everybody who played had a couple good shots for sure. Some of them just had like magnificent shots, ridiculous. Yeah. But it was fun to watch. And then we got Fred again.
Fred again, baby.
You can go ahead and kick that one off since you.
Fred again at Little Caesars Arena here in Detroit, which was absolutely phenomenal venue for it, I would say. Tons of people, everyone showed out for the homie, and it was his first time in Detroit. And I'd say that he had a good first show there. I'm pretty sure that's the first one he's ever put on there. You could tell he was just vibing off of the fans, off of all of us, and we were vibing off of him and his music. He comes out, he has 3 different stages. He has a main stage, a B stage, and then a side stage, which the side stage was right in front of our seats. And the show started at about, we checked the clock at the time, and it was like
9:15 is when he came on.
9:15, right around there.
Doors opened at 8.
And yeah, we were kind of chilling. All of a sudden, it gets around, opening time for him, 9:15. All of a sudden, kind of the lights start, coming on or whatever. The fog starts happening. And then you would think that Fred again is going to pop out on the main stage, but he doesn't. He pops out on the B stage, and everyone in the pit there, standing around dancing, lost their shit because they thought he was going to be on the main stage.
They're all facing this way.
When he pops up behind him, everybody does a 180 and runs back to the other stage. And then Cody and I are just watching. It just looks like fucking bulls rushing over.
Literally, it looks like sheep herding.
Yeah, it was so funny. And but I'd say 10 out of 10 show, man. I love Fred again. His music is just, it'll hit you in the heartstrings. It really pull on your heartstrings. And he does
beautiful music,
great production. He writes out all his stuff. It's all timed well with beats and everything. I think the theatrics of that show fucking killed it.
Everything.
I compared him to like Louis the Child. Like I was telling Cody, the lights at the Louis the Child show there was more. There was a lot more lights, a lot more like flashiness and stuff.
Lasers and all that. Yep.
But you didn't need that for this one, I would say, because Fred again, he plays a lot on the piano. And when you have him up on stage, the lights just shining on him. You don't need like all the flashy, crazy lights or anything like that. He had songs where he pulled that out. He had that in his back pocket.
Of course.
When he's out there and he's jamming on that computer or on that piano, man, and he's just letting it out.
It was great.
The smoke just coming up from,
just billowing from his feet.
I mean, it looked like he was floating on a cloud. It really did.
Yeah, it was
great seats. Awesome seats.
Awesome seats. The whole concert was great. I mean, they started with the very first song that Nick showed me while we were literally down here, a year or two ago, whenever that was. And it's probably one of the most anticipated concerts I've ever been to. Most of the artists that I see, actually, I bought concert tickets today for New Year's Eve. Josh and I, to go to Masonic Temple.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What show?
Excision.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yep, he's throwing down New Year's and New Year's Day, but I'm only going New Year's Eve.
That's heavier stuff. That's not in my alley.
That's heavy. So, anticipating Fred again, it was so funny because I didn't think I'd ever see him at a show. I always thought I'd see him at a festival.
Right.
Just because he headlines festivals. He doesn't tour much. When he does, it's a lot overseas or maybe just bigger venues here, Dallas Cowboy Stadium or something. So to see him come to Detroit, and once those tickets listed, I mean, I immediately told Nick, like, dude, I'm getting 2 tickets for sure. I don't care if I gotta stab somebody, bro.
Them up.
But so that concert came.
That game time.
Dude, I bought the tickets before. I know, right? I bought the tickets before I even knew what day it was on. Like, I bought the tickets. A couple days later, Nick and I are like, oh, what day we got that concert?
Yeah.
So you know what?
Yeah, I asked Cody.
And I was like, I don't know.
What day is it? Is it on a Friday or Thursday or Saturday night? What are we looking at? And he's like, I don't know. Let me check my phone. Hey, Cody pulling out his phone, looking at it. Dude, it's on a Tuesday. We're like, shut up. No way.
Tuesday.
We're in the fucking week. We're about to get wild.
Yeah. It was the best Tuesday I've had all year. For sure. It was so much fun. We danced a lot.
This guy, let me tell you, Cody, when he says he's a dancer and that he dances a lot, believe him.
Yeah.
110% believe him, because you know what? I believe you, right?
Of course.
I've never been to a legit, we went to Louis the Child.
Yeah.
We danced for that.
Yep.
You went crazy.
Yep.
I never seen you at like a music festival or anything like that. But for like this show, dude, you had it. You had full on energy. You had everyone around us vibing off of you. You had that passion, looking nice.
I was getting down, bro. It worked out perfect that there weren't people sitting next to us. Because
that was the thing.
There was probably 2 or 3 seats between me and homeboy next to me, and it worked out perfect. Just plenty of space. Plenty of space.
That's probably the difference between the Louis the Child and this one, like the Fred again.
Oh,
and
okay.
The dancing levels with you, because you were kind of tight, like at the Masonic.
Yeah, we're over here. We're doing a little tighter. Yeah,
this
doing
time,
one of these.
like you said, had the room. You had
a couple I was getting low. I was fucking doing everything.
When Cody was pushing me down the steps,
I was doing I was a tornado, bro. I was a tornado. You might have gotten my way. Because I was getting after it, man. It was so much fun. I explained to Nick, dude, I'm dancing to him when I'm in my car. I'm dancing to him when I'm at the gym. I'm dancing to him at work. Those are all 3 true statements. Every day I do that.
Yeah.
So if you don't think I'm going to dance like it's the end of the world, when I finally do get to see him and sing my heart out while I'm singing with him, oh, you're lost, bro. Of course I'm going to do that. I might not ever see him again, and that's fine. I might not ever. But while I was there, bro, I was getting after it.
He played all his good songs.
All of them.
Shocked he didn't play one of his all-time hits, which is 10.
Yeah, crazy.
He did play Adore You.
Played Billy, played Kyle, played Danielle.
I went through the set list.
Oh, you
today,
did?
Yeah. He actually played more songs on there than
you
I thought.
Yeah, because he would mix it.
He did like 4 songs into like a little thing. It'd be like 4 quick songs, then you go to this stage, play 4 in like a row, but they're kind of mixed together, so you can't really, you don't get the full song, which that's how it should be. I think.
Yeah,
I like how he speeds it up, slows it down, changes the song, gets back into that song that he started with, then he rolls it over to another one. And
it
it's
was
like
awesome.
Jump back. And
because if you guys haven't heard Fred again, definitely check him out. But one of the main things that I think he's so good at is he can really, like Nick said, really draw your emotions in one song, and then the next song you're like, I just want to party.
Yeah.
It's like the same artist. You know, kind of like how Drake can make songs where he's singing and then also songs where he's rapping hard as fuck. Like Fred again can do that with house music where he's Alicia Keys one second and then he's fucking Tiesto the next second. For real, you know what I mean? And it's beautiful. It's so
let's get down to business.
Yeah, you are singing that earlier. I forgot about it. That's funny. And it's great to see him do that. It's wonderful to see it live. We've watched so many videos of him playing it, you know, on river walks out of nowhere, on rooftops out of nowhere. It's Times Square. I think he like pulled up and was just like, "No, let me run it real quick." All that.
Yeah.
He's so in the moment. He's a very emotional guy when you watch his sets. You know, he's explaining to you why and how he made this music. And it's way different when you get that background than just singing a song. I sing a lot of songs that I don't know who wrote it, why they wrote it, when they wrote it, all that. But he explains it and he breaks it down. It's like it's a whole performance, man. He's not just sitting up there bullshitting. It's you get to see the artist. A lot of his songs, he has a lot of vocalists that he uses and vocalists that people probably have never heard of. I've never heard of a lot of these people, Joy Anonymous and this person and that person. So to see them on the screen and to pay tribute to them, almost every song, you got to see who was singing. I've never seen those people, so that was great to actually like put a face to the lyrics. You know what I mean? Because we'll sing the lyrics the whole time, the guys and the girls parts, but I don't know what that person looks like. I don't know what the pain it looks like they've gone through when we watch them on the screen and you see this guy and you're like, man. The guy who set his phone down and
I love that. And
it was, you know, and started rapping and singing, and you could just tell it's like it's not fake. You know, so many fake things in 2024. People trying to put fronts on. Look at me do this thing and do that. No. This everything with Fred again and his production is all real, very real. And I think that's what a lot of people can feel through his music and why he sold out an arena.
Yeah,
an arena.
Yeah,
first time he came to Detroit. An arena. That's crazy. I go to a lot of concerts. I don't go to arenas very often.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
With not a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? With not a lot of time either to like giving people to buy the tickets too, because
a month and a half?
He loves to do pop-up shows like Cody was saying and stuff. And when he does do a show like the one that he did at Little Caesars Arena, he won't put the tickets up a year prior or
like
8
Morgan
months
Wallen
prior.
Or Drake would do.
He'll put them up a month or 2 months at most before the show, and that's because with Fred again, he likes to create music that is gonna be in the moment, right? And it's gonna mean something to you when he plays that music. So, for instance, if he makes a couple songs and releases them, and you are, let's say, you're in a relationship and you listen to these songs with your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, and you love the songs, and then all of a sudden you guys break up or something, and you go to, you still end up going to the show, like that doesn't mean, it doesn't mean the same. Or, a death in the family or something, anything could have possibly happened in that time, and the music wouldn't really mean the same.
Yeah, it wouldn't hit the same. No.
So he wants to be making sure that when he puts them on, it's all kind of relevant with his new albums, with his new, songs that are coming out. and just living in the moment.
Yeah.
And with Fred again, I think he pulls that off very excellent. Like,
Yeah.
very well done.
One of the last things that I have to say is I love that he really enjoys working with people. Like, I don't think there's a song that's just Fred again.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there might be
There's a few.
But even
sure,
even the lyricists are other people.
Exactly.
It's not him. So almost every song, I mean, he's posted about it. He's great about that. All the collabs he did for this album. I mean, the list was like 25 people. There's only 10 songs or 11 songs.
Yeah.
I mean, he's working with people, putting them on the map. People, like I said, I've never heard of literally almost all of these people. Like Fortet, never heard of that guy before.
Nope.
You know, obviously I know Skrillex, but like a lot of people never heard of. Now I know all their names, you know, and then maybe I'll check out their music too. So he's not just about his music, he's about growing the music industry, and you can tell it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, it's very cool to see. He was awesome.
Yeah, I loved when he like would have that a song come on, and he has two smaller screens up on behind the main stage there, and they're kind of skinny. Well, now they're not huge, they're not big by any means, but he would put some words up there, like a little story, because he would go from stage to stage, right? So as he's making his way from B stage to main stage, there's a song kind of playing in the background, and then there's words coming up on these screens, and these words are talking to us, the crowd, as like basically why he's creating the song that he's going to be playing next. Why, what crazy. Brought him to create that song, that music, that beat, what put him in that space, where he played it at, and then, what really made him do it. And that was cool because you would kind of be reading that, and then all of a sudden, bam, the music starts playing, and you're listening to it, and you just read a little story right there, and then you can put it together with the song.
And if you're good, and if you listen to Fred again enough, you can guess which song's going to come on next, just based on the story.
You did. I mean, 2 or 3 times.
Just based on listening to his story and his life and his passion and his music, you can really kind of even predict what song is going to come next, because it just hits you so hard.
Yeah.
You know, when you're listening to Billy, he's talking about like reaching out and loving on people and all that. When you're listening to all those other songs, Fearless and stuff, he's really overcoming something, and they're overcoming something because he's talking about Fearless with, another person. It's awesome. 10 out of 10. Like Nick said, best Tuesday.
Yeah, it was best top-notch Tuesday for sure. Top-notch Tuesday.
Start of a sober October.
Yeah. I had a beer there.
Yeah, that's fine.
I had one beer.
That's fine. And it was fun. It was a good time. Yeah. I had a blast.
Yeah. All right. Let's cook it and
keep it going.
Keep cooking. Let's move on to New York.
Road trip.
Yeah, New York.
That was fun.
Little
scary.
5 hours and 15 minutes from where we left here to get to Ellicottville in New York. Very honestly easy ride, and at this time of the year, man, it's gorgeous. Pretty fucking beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, we're in Pennsylvania for about 30 minutes. That was cool. So we drove all the way from Detroit, passed through Cleveland, stopped at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That was dope. And then kept on making our way through Ohio, over to Pennsylvania up to New York. In New York for about an hour and a half. Stopped there at the ski resort in Ellicottville. And I had a blast. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting when we got these wedding invites, but I wasn't expecting what happened. Let's just say that. I don't know what I was expecting. I've been to a lot of weddings on ground level, not on mountains. And I was expecting that. I was expecting like a beautiful wedding, but it topped my expectations. We got there, and from the second we got boots on ground, it was just
a thrill.
The biggest smile on my face from ear to ear, and meeting up with some of the homies I haven't seen in so long. I mean, I was thinking about it recently. I've known Joe and Drew, 2 of the guys that were at the wedding, since 2011. I mean, that's 13 years, bro. I was 19 years old when I met those guys.
Jeez.
It's a crazy thing to think about because we've all come so far. I mean, everybody.
You can see that you guys are close and that you guys have known each other for quite some time, because like the way that you guys just bring it in tight for a hug, and the stories that you guys vibe out telling to with each other. Like I feel like I was like with you,
for some of those
stories.
Because I could see Cody.
You guys were so good at telling stories, but like the way that you guys were bouncing back and forth off each other, and I actually, that was the first time I met some of your friends that are from the military, and man, awesome fucking people.
Yeah.
Awesome fucking dudes, man.
Cool people.
They all have their own personality, and they are all fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Noah's great. His little brother Josh, Drew. I mean, shout out to all the guys and girls that work there.
Shout out to them all, dude. Honestly.
Janie's parents. I mean, they get the biggest shout out of all the whole gang. I mean, they threw a magical princess wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Well, and what I mean by that is we get there the Friday. We get there. Very small city. There's only a couple bars. One of the bars, they know the people who own it. Close the bar down for us. Open bar for what, 100 people maybe? I mean,
just across the street.
Just across the street from our hotel. So that's the first night. Get loose. Second day, golf. Go to the wedding. The wedding's a blast. You have to take a gondola up to the top of the mountain like you're going to go ski. It's a ski resort. And then at the very top is where they got married. And it was awesome. I was a part of the wedding. I was a groomsman. And it was just so much fun, man. I mean, the whole set, the outfits were great. Everything was perfect. I mean, Saturday, the food was delicious. Sunday, we kicked it with them and then came back Monday. And it was just so much fun. We got 2 rounds of golf in. But I guess we can kind of just jump to the golf real quick, right? Before we
knock out golf real quick, because I think that was, I had
because I want to hear your take on the wedding, because I was standing.
Yeah, I want to finish up with that too, because like we can kind of course really
finish with
talk about part. Joe and Janie too, kind of make that about them.
So the golf was good. Like I said, we golfed Friday morning, a little hungover, just a little bit. And
not too bad though.
You can tell we were a little hungover because unlike Nick and I, we got there at like the last minute.
We were the last ones to show up out of it,
which isn't very like us.
Six group,
16, I think, or 24 or something.
Yeah, it was a lot. There's a lot of people.
So yeah, that wasn't the hottest start. But
we were the first fucking group to go off, and we were the last ones to show up.
Yeah, it was very.
It is what it is.
So tee off, we end up getting 15 holes in out of the 18 because we had to get ready that day. Course was gorgeous. I mean, unbelievable. So nice. The leaves changing at the time. It's pretty open course. A little bit of water, but well maintained. It was just beautiful, beautiful course. I played pretty well. I was, I think, shooting a 78 going into those last 3 holes, which is a par 5, par 5, par 4. And that last hole 15 is a par 3 that we ended up playing.
Oh man, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
I heard this all weekend.
Yes. So
I'm still hearing it.
Hole 15 is 150 yards, give or take. Pretty much straight downhill, about 30 yards, you'd say, give or take. I hit
it's probably more than that, even.
Even more?
Yeah.
Okay.
We lost your golf ball when it landed, and then it reappeared.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It might just be because of the steepness.
Right. Deep. Let's say that.
Yeah, it's a drop.
It's a drop. And I hit it just a little fat. I mean, I hit it at like 90%. I hit pretty well. And
Cody didn't like the shot when he hit it.
Yeah, because it's downhill. If you hit the ball short, it will then shoot off said hill and then go on, move forward.
Said hill.
And what I did was I ended up hitting it almost at the base, like almost where it starts to flatten out where the green is. And I mean just short, like what, 10 feet maybe? It was almost by the base. And because of that, it just shot up to the green. The pin was playing like front middle-ish, like right in the middle though. Like I have a video of it. It's like right in the middle. And ball's rolling. I'm on the tee box still, obviously. I just hit. Nick's to my left, Joe's to my left, Trey's to my right behind me. He's videotaping me actually. Shout out to Trey for sure. Blazy Susan's, baby.
Yeah, check out Blazy Susan's real quick if you guys don't know. Blazy Susan's, all natural, vegan papers, blunt wraps, all that stuff.
Grinders, everything.
And they're pink. The papers are pink with the pink filter. Shout out for Blazy Susan, and shout out to Trey. That's my dog.
Yeah, Trey's the homie. That's Janie's brother. And he was a blast the whole time. Mm-hmm. Awesome guy. He golfed with us too, which was great. And
yeah, he was recording that, and then he stopped.
He was recording
that.
Yeah. And so the ball hits, it started rolling to the hole, and we're getting pretty pumped up. We're like, oh shit, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. And it's rolling at it, shooting at it. And we're all getting pumped. And next thing you know, it fucking hits the stick. It ends what I thought was 2 feet away. Ended up being about 6 feet away. And yeah, I ended up sinking the birdie putt. But that whole time, we really thought it was going to go in. I mean, we were all jumping around, ready to fucking go crazy, jump in the
Oh yeah.
nearest lake or whatever was
Oh
close to
yeah.
me.
I was
And
ready to strip, and then I didn't even hit the
yeah, me
shot.
me too. And it was a great shot. It was cool. But yeah, that's the closest I've ever gotten to a hole in one. I mean, that ball ran up, smoked the flagstick. Nick made the comment right after. I took some paint off the flagstick, and
Dude, smoked it.
it was cool. It was really
You
cool
hit
to
it with a
watch.
sniper, is what it seemed like.
Yeah, yeah, you could almost hear it from the
Send
top
a
of the hill.
bullet.
That's how fucking fast it was going at it. But it was awesome. Closest I've ever gotten to a hole in one. Um, I think Nick, you've seen a hole in one, haven't you?
Couple.
Okay, so yeah, so
Quite
you've
a
seen a
few.
couple. Yeah,
They're
you've seen a
fun.
couple,
Just wish it
and
was me.
I know we'll get you one.
Son of a bitch.
Um, but yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. The closest I've ever been now, 8 iron. That's now my new favorite club.
It's gotta be, right?
Right. The one that
Gotta
gets me the
be.
closest to the hole in one is my new favorite club always.
And it was on an awesome hole too. Like it wasn't just
Oh,
no straight up the hill or flat hole with the little bunker, you
no.
know. I mean,
It
this
was
was a
scenic.
very
Yeah.
nice. It was awesome. It
Yeah.
was and the unfortunate chain of events that we didn't have it on video because our buddy Trey there, as we were talking about, uh, he was actually taking a video as you teed off, but then like as soon as you hit the ball, he ended the video, and
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah.
damn man, we almost had it. We almost had
I
that one.
know. Yeah, it's kind of hard when you're standing back behind the golfer on that specific hole because it's so downhill. He would have had to videotape me and then kind of like as soon as I hit, kind of walk up to the front of the tee box. But Trey
Yeah,
doesn't golf as much. That's something you or I probably would have done. But it was still great to have him record my swing. That was cool.
yeah,
But it was wonderful, man. It was a great foursome with Joe and you and Trey, and yeah, we had a blast. Honestly,
yeah, dude. It
it
was
was
a good
super
day of
cool.
golf. Good day of golf. Good course. Weather
Yep.
actually turned out great. It wasn't too cold. Uh, Picturesque. Very
Oh
picturesque.
yeah, yeah, it was beautiful, and that was the last hole right before the wedding. So
Yep.
that could have even topped it off even more.
Cody would have been lit.
Yeah, I would have been. I only drank
Cody's
beer at the
buying.
wedding. I would have been drinking liquor at the wedding if I would have made that.
Yeah, because you kind of we were looking at the special drinks, so I guess we could fast forward to the wedding now like,
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
And so yeah, the main reason why we went down to New York was for our buddy Joe and Janie, their wedding. uh, Absolutely awesome venue, but I know they had those crazy mixed drinks inside there, and you and I looked at each other. We were like, maybe one tonight. That's it, maybe. But
Maybe
we're gonna
one,
stick to
but that's
beer.
it.
And if that
Yeah,
hole in one would have went in, if that would have dropped, those
I
mixed
probably
drinks
would have
would have
been
been
drinking
going
all
down.
those. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for
Oh, for
sure.
sure.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it
awesome.
was
The wedding
great.
was absolutely perfect. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better wedding, in my opinion. I have only been to like a handful of weddings, and by far the best wedding that I've ever been to. The
Oh yeah.
views, the people. I mean, just the dance floor was packed.
Yep.
No
Dance
one,
floor was
no
packed
one
the
was
whole
sitting
time.
down. Everyone was enjoying themselves, and awesome, awesome wedding. And I can't thank Joe and Janie for letting me be there on their special day and stuff
Oh
because it
yeah.
was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was 12 out of 10. I mean, it started
Ooh,
with,
12
the
out of
night
10. That's a good
before.
one.
Thanks, thanks. Yeah, it started the night before with the little icebreaker that we had at the bar across the street from our hotel. Prime position there, walk home. And then, we had a good time that night. And then the next day is the wedding and golf, and we had a blast. And the wedding was beautiful. They had a live band, which is, I'm a big fan. I like DJs, of course. I go to electronic music all the time. But at a wedding, I really like the OG live band scene. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
You're singing with a band. It's cool. It's a lot different than somebody just going up there pressing a button. So that was dope. The food was ridiculous. Steak was awesome, and everything was just immaculate. I mean, it really was like a fairy tale wedding, and she deserved it. I mean, Janie's an awesome person. So is Joe. He's kind of an asshole, but I like that guy.
He has his
Um,
days.
yeah, most days he's cool. But yeah, it was an awesome wedding. It was cool to be a part of it, standing in it, and not marrying anybody. The past couple weddings, I've been marrying people, so I'm a lot more stressed going into the wedding. This one was a lot more chill.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I had a blast.
You actually got to take it all in and not have to
Yeah,
worry about
Yeah,
saying
not
something or
participate. Yeah,
looking a certain way.
of course. Yeah, I just had to stand up there and look good. I didn't have to say anything. So, um, and I think I did that. Actually, I must have looked pretty good. Homegirl was hitting on me all night, so that was
Oh
dope.
yeah. Oh, you had a
Um,
side chick.
yeah, she's cool. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to her for sure. She's a dope chick.
Shout out to Riley.
Yeah, but
Y'all go
it was a
follow her on
blast, man.
Instagram.
Oh yeah, yeah, she's cool. I was actually just in her stomping grounds the past week over by Cleveland. So, but yeah, it was an awesome wedding. That night we partied all night. Went to the bar after. I mean, just kept going, kept going. And then the next day we ended up going out to eat after. Actually, Nick and I golfed.
Yeah.
We had golfed Harvest Hills out there in Orchard Park and just outside of Buffalo in the suburbs. Beautiful suburb. Um, awesome course. Kind of played like a link style course almost, you would say.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. And it was awesome. I mean, Nick had an eagle. We can get to that in a second. And then, that night we went to dinner, had a wonderful dinner with everybody. I'd say there's about 16 of us. Pretty much all the homies from Denver were pretty much at the dinner. So Noah and his little brother and everybody, and it was just a blast. I mean, the whole time we were having fun. Even though we were tired by the end, I was still
So tired.
smiling, and I was still having a great time, even though I was tired.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, how about that eagle for you? You want to walk us through that?
Yeah, before I talk about that, just talk about
Ooh.
the venue a little bit more maybe at the
Oh
wedding.
yeah, yeah.
It was in the Appalachian Mountains at a ski resort. So we all got to take a lift ride up to the top, man, and you get up there and when you actually see the whole setting of the place, I mean, just flawless. The colors
Yeah.
of the leaves changing, the height at where we're at, watching everything. You got Janie's cousins flying drones around, man. I mean, just putting on a show for us.
Yeah.
It was like a show inside a show type of deal.
Yeah.
But
It was crazy.
I mean, it was. I don't think I'll ever be able to go to another wedding that's on top of a mountain like that, like
Yeah.
at a ski
I don't
resort.
know.
That's pretty. That's gonna be a tough one to top for all my friends
Yeah.
and me.
Yeah, it is. It is. You might tie it, but you might not beat it.
And
Yeah.
then I want to say, Joe had an amazing speech that he gave, and had some jokes in there, but had some serious parts, and
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I don't think you were either. Some of the jokes and
No.
some of the side things that he
No. He
that
had
he
me
said,
laughing and tearing up at the same time.
exactly. There's mixed emotions there. Do I cry? Do I laugh? It's
Yeah. A little bit of
but it
both.
was yeah. Then the venue itself, you had the dance floor on the right side, dinner on the left, tables, and then the bar in the middle, and it was just the layout of the venue and everything was couldn't have been better. It was easy to navigate, made everybody kind of stay congregated in an area like the dance floor, and which is where the party was, a little bit
Oh
outside.
yeah.
We had some cigars. It was
Yep.
just it was by far one of the best weddings I've been to for sure. It
Oh
was
yeah.
so much
You
fun.
know what was cool about that wedding and I didn't think about till now is like the whole time you didn't have to wait for a drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had bartenders. I've been to so many weddings where, you're standing in line, which isn't a problem, mingling with your friends and waiting and
Hmm.
waiting and waiting. Then you get up to the front and you get your drink. There was none of that there. Like you wanted a
No.
drink, you might have to wait behind one person and then you're next. So I
Yeah.
didn't even, think about that. But yeah, that was an awesome part. There was no waiting for any cocktails, any drinks. The service was phenomenal. The ladies wanted to be there working. They didn't seem like it was a hassle to work that wedding. I mean, the hors d'oeuvres, like the whole thing was just unbelievable
What was that?
script.
Fried okra or what do we have? Fried something?
Oh, we had
That
fried
was
gnocchi.
gnocchi, dude.
Yeah,
That was
yeah, fried gnocchi. Yeah, I never had that before.
banging.
Yeah, that was
I
cool.
didn't.
That
Me
was
neither.
cool.
And I didn't even know what the fuck it was, but I kept hearing you and fucking six other people say how good it was. So I was like, all
Oh
right, where's this
yeah,
bitch with the fried gnocchi? Because I got to get some.
dude,
And I
I'm
had the
telling
taste,
you.
and it was like, all right, I'm going back for more.
Yeah, they had that. They had bruschetta. They had so many wonderful things the whole time. I mean, from start to finish, you were being fed drinks just nonstop. And like you said, the dance floor was never empty. The way it was set up, like Nick had said, if you're looking from the outside in, the dance floor is on the right, the bar's in the middle. Where you're eating's to the left. So if you're where you're sitting, where you're eating, you're not going to be able to see the dance floor, which means no one was sitting there as soon as dinner was over. I mean, they could have cleaned up like as soon as we got done eating because no one was there anymore.
Yeah.
And we were all on the dance floor or people were outside. It was gorgeous out. Nice evening. You could have the jacket on or off. It wasn't, I've been to a lot of weddings where it's like, all right, as soon as we can, we're taking the jacket off. It's too hot. It's June. It's July or something. It was perfect weather there. I mean, the whole thing was great. Cigars. Greg had brought his humidor and just had, 10, 20 cigars,
All
whatever
the good
flavor,
ones
whatever
too.
size you want. Yeah. Perfect cutter for us. I mean, it was, it was unbelievable. It really was. I was so happy for my best friend Joe. He deserves it. I've known him for a long time, and he's been a wonderful person as long as I've known him. So he really deserves that.
Yeah,
You
man,
know?
he's a great dude. I'm pretty new to the friendship with him. Within the last couple of years, I'd say we hit it off immediately. Uh,
Yeah.
the dude was
Yep.
he was looking like a stud muffin. Janie was looking beautiful, man. They're
Of
meant for
course.
each other. They
Oh
really
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
What the first time I kind of tell this story again. The first time I actually met Joe was in Arizona when we went down there to watch the Waste Management, and while we were down there. I remember we were sitting in the hotel room one night after we got back from doing something. We must have went out shopping or something. I might have got some souvenirs and stuff. And while we were
Yeah.
there, Joe had picked up Janie a little cacti plant. And I remember he was on the phone with her that night talking about the cacti plant he got her. And he goes, "Hey Janie, I got you this little cacti plant. Just make sure you don't kill it in 2 weeks because you tend to do that with our plants." So it was like just kind of hearing him, make that little joke, seeing him smile, seeing him laugh over
Yeah.
the phone. I mean, I knew that they were going to be perfect for each other right then and there. Like I could see the smile on his face, the way he
Yep.
can, communicate with her like they're best friends, which they are.
Exactly.
It's
Yep.
I knew right then and there, like, hey, she's probably the one for him. And
Oh
I thought
yeah.
it was funny, we hit it off instantly in Arizona and became closer and closer. I appreciate you for kind of introducing me to him, bringing your
Of
friends
course.
along, and letting me kind of be friends with them too. I met a lot of
Yeah.
your military friends at this wedding, and it was pretty fun to watch you guys bounce stories back and forth off each other. I felt like I was in the moment with you guys at a lot of these, and they're all cool people. Top, from Joe all the way down to uh uh
You had Drew and Raquel with you. You had
Drew and Raquel. Yeah,
Noah.
absolutely. There was
Yeah.
just so many people. Like, it was fun, and now I got more friends for life. So it's
Of
like
course.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It really was. I mean, if I could relive that weekend over and over, I swear I would, because it was just so much fun. I don't care how tired I was at the end of the weekend. It was worth it. I mean, we had such a great time. We really did. The wedding was. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, going into it, I knew it was in a ski resort town, but I didn't know it was on top of the mountain. I
Dude,
didn't know,
we didn't even
we'd be
know it was in
taking
the
over that. Yeah, I didn't
we
know
didn't
we'd
even
be
know it was in
taking
the
over that
mountains.
city. Yeah, yeah, I didn't even know it was in the mountains.
You had to
You know,
look it up.
yeah, because our ski resorts here aren't in mountains. So I'm thinking, it's like our ski resorts, Boyne or one of the Garland, one of those, where it's like, yeah, it's hilly.
Yeah,
There's some
yeah.
big hills, but it ain't no mountains. It's yeah, so that was cool. We were right at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains and it was just breathtaking.
It was.
Breathtaking views. The people all looked great. Everyone was so kind. There was a lot of people of all ages. Half the people older, half the people younger, and everyone just seemed so cool and just so happy to be there. Like really honored to be there. And everyone said the same thing about Janie, about how special she is and how when she walks into a room, it's just you don't help but notice her and how awesome she is and how great she is and how kind she is. And the same with Joe, especially with his laughter. I mean, that guy's always joking. We are always joking on each other. It's so much fun. It really
Yeah,
is.
he's somebody who he's himself around everyone.
Everyone,
He doesn't change.
everyone. I
He
don't
is
care if it's the
he is
president.
Joe Flores to the T
Yeah.
anytime you see him, 9 o'clock at night or 8 in the morning.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's
And
cool.
like you said about Janie, she really is the light, the brightest light. I mean, the biggest smile on her face. I
Yep.
mean, that was the first time I actually met Janie, and I remember when I first walked in the door the first night, the day before the wedding at that bar there, and she seen me and she goes, "Hey, Nick, it's so good to meet you," with the biggest smile on her face. And she's like, I heard so much about you. Joe talks about you. He told me you were gonna be here. And yeah,
Yep.
she was awesome. Her family. It
Yeah.
was you could feel the love in the
Oh
air.
yeah. And Joe was really cool about everything. I mean, he knew that you were coming with me, so all the pre-wedding festivities that normally only the groomsmen would be a part of, he was totally open to you joining, and that was awesome to have you there for all of that. Whether it was the pictures or us getting dressed up and eating some pizza, talking shit before the wedding, and all that stuff. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was a boys' time, and it was so special to be able to share that with you and all of the friends.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
made it easy on me for sure. It didn't make me, there was times where I was like, well, shit, should I sit back? Do I want to sit back here and let
right.
them do their thing, or,
Yeah,
change? Should I just change like at the hotel and I'll just meet him there or what? But yeah, he was
yeah,
very welcoming with the whole thing. He didn't mind
yeah.
me there at all, being with you
Nope.
guys, and I
Yeah, that was really cool.
thank him a lot for that for sure.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That was cool. You got to spend pretty much the whole time with us, which is how we want it. Spending as much time together with the people you love, and such a special weekend. Celebrating love is fun. We've done it a
Yeah,
couple times now, but that one was just, I don't know, it was just something different about that one. It was just really good.
yeah, it was.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I had a blast.
that was pretty much the wedding there. And as we said, 10 out of 10. Cody alluded to
Yeah,
my ego earlier. I'll talk about that real quick. I think it
yeah.
was hole
Let
two.
the people hear it.
I believe it was hole two. It's a par
Yep,
five, relatively short par five. Just got to make sure you hit a good tee shot out there. The fairway was pretty forgiving.
465.
And I think I hit a little cut off the tee, if I can remember, a little fade. Everything's been kind of a little push with me lately. And I hit that driver left side of the fairway. We got up there, and I think you ranged it at like a 300-yard tee shot, and
Yep,
it
and you had 165 left.
left me, yeah, 165. I hit a hit a 7-iron, and the pin was kind of tucked on the right side, center right of the green, but there's like this huge overhanging tree
Yeah,
on the right side of the green that's covering it kind of. So you either got to go up and over that bitch if you're lucky, or try to go around it. I just kind
yeah,
of played to the center of the green since I've been pushing everything. I figured, you know what, my miss is probably going to be right. So if it pushes or it slices whatever, then it'll be like right on the pin. And I hit a fucking perfect 7-iron, did exactly what I thought it was going to do, and left myself what 4.5 feet, maybe 4 feet,
oh yeah,
4 feet probably, and I
yep,
sank that punt, and little eagle on hole two to
yeah,
start off. That's a
yeah.
double caw. Caw,
Oh,
caw.
for sure. Started par eagle. I mean, it was the best start Nick could have really asked for. I mean, he had a birdie look, I think, on one too. And yeah, it was just a beautiful course. Played a lot harder on the back once we slowed down, but it was still
Yeah,
awesome to be
that
there.
was the
Yeah,
worst.
yeah. The slow golf kind of killed us at the end there, and especially because we were tired. That compounded the tiredness for sure. But it was great. The course played well. I shot well. You shot well. And then, like I said, later that night, we went and had a couple drinks. We had that blueberry lemon beer
Oh,
or whatever it
that
was.
was
Oh, that
delicious.
shit! It was so good.
I had
Yeah,
two of
bought a
them.
round of shots for the girls to celebrate, and we just had so much fun. Yeah, it was a blast. And the next day, let them know what did we do the next day before we headed home.
Yeah, we woke up early, went to Niagara Falls, drove a little more north, out of our
Yeah,
way to see the Niagara Falls, but it's
yeah,
uh it's one of those things like if you're around it, you want to go see it. And Cody,
yeah. We were only 40
you've
minutes.
never seen it or anything in person,
Nope.
just on pictures, so that was a first for you. My second
Yeah,
time, I was there like
yeah,
many, many years ago for a hockey tournament. I couldn't even really
yeah.
tell you too much about it then, but it still looks the same, I guess.
Yeah, I remember you were saying, where your dad went and, where you guys went when you were there last time. So it's cool. You got to see it as a kid, now as an adult, and really kind of comprehend, how massive it is and how awesome it is. So, yeah, that was
Yeah, I
a
was
blessing.
there for a hockey tournament, and my dad was saying, "Yeah, you remember when I had to drive across to the Canada side to get you some hockey pants because I must have left mine at home for this tournament, and I went to go change and realized I didn't have my hockey pants in my bag, so Pops had to had to go across the border there just to get me some hockey pants because he figured that
That's
was
fun.
he looked and that was like the closest spot, which makes
Oh,
sense, you
yeah.
know." Canada's gonna have a ton of hockey
I
stores.
was just about to say, if there's one thing you need there, it's hockey
Cross
stuff.
that border for my dumbass just to get
That's all
me
right.
some hockey pants so I could play some hockey.
Good.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that
then the
was
drive home was easy. On the way there, we also stopped at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a couple minutes. Got to go inside and use the restroom and just kind of look around and see how awesome that is. Maybe I'll make it back one day. Hopefully, I do. And got to see a couple stadiums on the
all this
way.
traveling you do, man. You'll be back.
Yeah, I think I will. If Riley hits me up, I'll definitely be back.
Yeah.
uh, but no, it was really cool, man. The road trip was awesome. I mean, there was only about 30 seconds of me being nervous, and that was when that cop pulled out behind me. Other than that, it was smooth sailing and looking at the changing leaves of the trees. Yeah, I know, my heart was racing.
Had me
I was like, Nick, you might have to eat that real
had my
quick.
palms sweating. I was like, Cody, I can't eat weed like that, dude. And
I
you
was
were like,
like,
you
bro, you
will
might
if it's
have
like
to.
that or go to jail.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
might
yeah, I
have
guess you're right, dude.
to.
I'd be
So,
smiling at the cop and I got like stems in my
yeah, I was
teeth,
about to say.
and fucking green teeth, dude. Be like,
Yeah, sorry, I was eating
picking out
cabbage.
fucking orange hairs and stuff.
Yeah, tricones and shit. Yeah, for sure. But it was a blast, man. I had a great time. The wedding was awesome, and the whole trip was amazing. So, and I'm really thankful that you were able to make it with me because I had a blast. I could have had a blast by myself, but I definitely would have had more fun because you were there. So that was cool.
Would you have
Yeah.
stayed still in like the hotel and stuff by yourself, probably? Right? You would have just, or would you have
Yeah,
like,
I probably would have just crashed by myself. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was good,
definitely.
good spot. It was a good spot. I liked it all.
Oh yeah. Dude, the
It was,
hotel room right outside the golf course, like, bro. The one night we get back the first night, and we're half lit because we got to walk home. And Nick's like, "Dude, let's go to the green and chip around."
oh
He
yeah,
sets his phone up on the pin, so like we can only see the pin, and we're 15 yards off the green or so. Grab our wedges, and we're just chipping balls up to like the only thing we can see, the light, which is the hole. So that was cool. We did that for 15, 20 minutes, sticking around before we went to bed the first night, and yeah, it was just so much fun from start to finish. Yeah.
yeah. It was fun. Definitely a
Yep.
memorable experience.
Oh yeah, I won't forget that one. I won't
No,
forget.
no.
Yeah.
All right, man. What do you say? Let's wrap it up here.
Yeah,
Probably good
yeah,
enough. I think we covered enough there.
yeah. Next time we'll talk. We can talk about that hotel I just booked for us at the memorial.
You know it.
Um, yep. So we got
And
that
your
booked.
trip up north. I want to hear how that
Yeah,
goes.
yeah. I'll be hunting. We got plenty to talk about. There was a tournament that just happened. I want to talk about. You won money this weekend. We got
Yep.
plenty to talk
That's
about.
what I figured
But
too. Like we'll give it some time. It
yep,
gives us
yep.
some time to collect some topics and
Of
then
course. Yeah.
spit them
During
out.
fall golf, it's really hard to keep up with topics because there's not as much golf being played between us and the pros. So it's kind of sparingly that we can talk about golf in particular. But we got to talk about the Lions. I mean, there's plenty to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So on our next one, you'll get a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that one. So
Yeah, not just golf. It'll be a little bit
yeah,
of everything.
you'll get a little bit of everything on the next one. I promise.
For sure. All right. Thank you guys for
Well,
listening and tuning into Three Pars and a Birdie. Big shout out to
yes.
Joe and Janie. Also, shout out to their brother Trey. Check out Blazy Susan, the big
Yeah.
company in Colorado, and they're making their way across the state. So I'm sure you'll see them out there in
Yep.
your smoke shops and stuff like that here
Oh
real
yeah,
soon
you
if they're
will.
not there yet. But yeah, big shout out to those guys. Love you, Joe and Janie. Thank you again for letting
Man,
me,
love you
Cody,
guys very
be
much.
there. Your special day. It was absolutely picturesque. The most beautiful thing
Oh
ever.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
well.
all right, y'all. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button down below, and we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to use your one time.
Love y'all. See
All
you.
right, Cody. Peace.